Hello, Dr. Bartlett. This is John Downey, and this is my embodied reflection for IAH 231A. One of the biggest takeaways from this class was the panoptic gaze. It's something that I knew always existed, and I knew about self-surveillance and the spotlight effect, but never really knew where all that stemmed from, and the exact details and implications of the panoptic gaze. So learning about the panoptic gaze and the effects of everyone who has to face it every day was very interesting. Also learning about the panoptic prisons and how the prisoners would eventually obey whether or not there was a guard in the tower was very interesting to me and truly showed me that everyone can be susceptible to the gaze in the real life. I feel that I can apply the three main effects of the panoptic gaze in my everyday life. I feel that knowing the gaze normalizes, homogenizes, and idealizes is going to remind me to accept others for their differences and not be a contributing factor and not be someone who makes the gaze aware for other people. I don't want other people to think that they are susceptible to the gaze. I don't want to be a part of that issue. Another big takeaway for me in this class was the social model of disability. I've never really thought about how impairment and disability were different until this class. I knew that, the social construct of disability was a thing, but really it opened my eyes when I heard that impairment is the physical disability, and then disability itself is society's response to that impairment. The body is not the problem. After learning about this model, it really got me thinking on how society treats those with disabilities, especially after the Stella Young video as well. Using those with disabilities and placing them on a pedestal for just being normal and living their lives is just as bad as treating someone with a disability as an outsider. And Stella Young really showed that in her speech, and that really opened my eyes, and I feel that I can use this in my future. I want to go into prosthetics and be able to help those who have lost a part of their body regain that confidence and be able to be seen as just a normal person in everyday life, not be judged for a part of their body. One thing I wish I had a better understanding of going into this class is resistance and power. I feel that this topic was very confusing for me to grasp going in, and I think this was due to my background and being one who really has never had to resist power and being someone who usually just goes with the flow. I'm not one to spur arguments and start any kind of argument. So having a better understanding of that going into this class could have really helped me grasp that concept a lot better. The topic that engaged me the most personally was Descartes' theory of dualism. It was something I really never thought about, and it's something that I can apply to my life all the time. As I stated in a discussion post, I've always been proud of my brain, but really have never been proud of my body. And I think that's really cool that Descartes separated the two, and it's really interesting how the two can coexist with one another, but at the same time be completely different and do completely different things. One thing I really liked about this class was the format for Project 1. The story map was very unique, and it was a cool way to display everyone's different worldviews and the true diversity of the online learning group. I liked how everybody could be showcased in one, and it made me feel a lot more connected to those I was learning with because I could see what they felt comfortable with, where they didn't feel comfortable, and find my similarities and differences with the rest of the peers. One thing I didn't like about this class, or one thing that I might suggest to change or add, is including more current event articles into the weekly discussions. I feel that there's a lot of different current events that could have been worked in and weaved into this class, and it would have broadened the knowledge base of all the peers had we been able to apply what we were learning in class to things that were happening in the real world, and seeing how each different peer took each topic and what they thought about it, and then also seeing how the media thinks about it, just to really broaden how we think about the world. Dr. Bartlett, I just want you to know that I didn't really know what to expect coming into this course. It was one of the last seat openings for an online summer IAH course, so I joined it, but I'm really glad I did. It helped me grasp a really good understanding of disability. I am someone who wants to go into prosthetics one day, and being able to learn these concepts and add a couple more tools to my social tool belt is really going to help me in my future career, to give me not only more confidence within my career, but also a greater understanding for the patients that I will have to be working with. So I just wanted to thank you for that.